Shabbos Daf Vav. How's everybody doing? We're continuing with the theme. Sometimes it seems like from the Torah that certain Gedolim sinned, and in fact, it's not a sin. We discussed Reuven, he didn't sin. Today we're saying whoever says that the sons of Shmuel sinned because it says in the pasuk Vayitu achrei habotza, they took bribery, sheichad, you're mistaken. What happened was they weren't like Shmuel, their father, who went around to do dinei Torahs. They stayed in their place and they sent their messengers out, and that's considered botza. They try to fatten their salaries, and they received in return, and therefore they weren't as great as their father. Rameir says since they were Levium, they were entitled to the Meiser, but they demanded the Meiser, and since they were Gedolim and the judges of Klal Yisrael, people gave them Meiser, and in return the other Levium were affected. Rabbi Yehuda says they would give their money to the Balabatim to do business with it. They would take back their money without giving the Balabatim any cut, but in return they showed favoritism during Dinei Torah, and that's wrong. Rabbi Akiva says they would take Bekoyach, with force, extra Meiser, that's stealing. Rabbi Yossi says they took the Matnis Kahuna, which is also stealing, Zroya, L'chayayim, V'keva. The famous Gemara, whoever says David HaMelech sinned with Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah, with Ashes Ish, is making a mistake. Rav says that Rebbe, who was descendant of David, tried to find for his forefather a way out of this. It says in the pasuk, La Hara, David only intended to do bad, but he never sinned. As the pasuk says, Es Uriah Hachiti, he kiso becharev. You killed Uriah Hachiti. What the Gemara says is he didn't kill him. He was supposed to bring him in front of a Sanhedrin, and he failed to do so. Even though, as the Gemara says, he was a Marid b'malchus. He deserved to die because he said to David, Adoni Yoav. He called Yoav his master rather than David the master. Or according to Tosfos, he didn't listen to David when David told him to come home from the war. So he deserved to die. But David should have brought him in front of the Sanhedrin. In fact, the pasuk says, just like Bnei Ammon, it's not David's fault when the Goyim Ammon killed the Jews. So too, when Uriah Achita died, it wasn't David's fault. You took Uriah's wife as your own wife. If the Torah says she was your wife, that means Kiddushin was Chal, there was a good Kiddushin, and it was legal and wasn't an Avera. Rav says on the one hand that David never sinned only with the thing of Uriah. But on the other hand, there's a brisa that says, there's a saying that says, the Rav says that David sinned by accepting Lashon Hara. Shmuel says he never accepted the Lashon Hara. When he saw signs that the Lashon Hara was right, and that's why he accepted it. What happened? David went to search for descendants of Shaul, and he found Tziva, one of the servants, and he said, does Shaul have descendants? And he says, yes, in fact, he has a grandson, Mipibaishas, the son of Yainasan. But he told him, Beloi Davar, and we read it with the Aleph, meaning to say, Tziva was saying, he's not a Talmud Chacham, he doesn't know how to learn. But when David found Mipibaishas, he realized, Meloi Davar, as the Gemara Bracha says, Mipibaishas was greater than David, he was his Rebbe in Torah. Meloi Davar, with the Aleph, he was full. When David HaMelech later on ran away from Yerushalayim from his own son Avshalom, he bumped into Tziva and he says, where's Mipibaishas? And he says, he's rebelling against you. And David accepted that Lashon Hara. But he saw that Tziva is a liar. Why did he accept it? Because he saw Mipibaishas as Simon. Mipibaishas didn't bathe and didn't shave and didn't take care of himself coming to the king David. And Mipibaishas tells David HaMelech, I'm upset, not at you, I'm upset at Kosh Baruch Hu. Why did you give my belongings or half of my belongings to Tziva? Says the Gemara, Baskal came out and said, not so but not so. You fight with me just like your grandfather Shaul fought with me about the riverbed. Says Rav, at the moment that David HaMelech accepted the Lashon Hara from the slave, Mida Keneged Mida, Shlomo's Malchus went half to his son and half to the slave Yeravam, half to Rechavam and half to Yeravam, and because of that, Yeravam brought Avodah Zarah. He set up the Egel Hazav on the way to the Beis Hamikdash. So Klal Yisrael can't go to the Beis Hamikdash, and Klal Yisrael started doing Avodah Zarah, and eventually there was Golas for Klal Yisrael. Whoever says that Shlomo HaMelech sinned by worshipping Avodah Zarah is making a mistake. His wife, or his wives, tried to seduce him to Avodah Zarah, but he didn't listen. And just like the same pasuk says that Yoshiyahu broke the Bamais, although it wasn't Yoshiyahu, Uz Asa and Yeshafat, but the Torah says a nice thing towards Yeshafat, so the Torah also says a not nice thing to Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech built the Bama, even though he didn't really build it. Shlomo would have rather to be the Shamish Avodah Zarah, cut down trees for Avodah Zarah, than to have the pasuk that's written about him, Vayas hara b'nei Hashem. What was so bad that Shlomo did? Shlomo didn't rebuke his wife when he married her and she brought an Avodah Zarah. He should have rebuked her immediately. The moment that he didn't rebuke her, that's when Gabriel HaMalach put a stick in the ocean, and around that it started growing and growing until it became an island that became Roimi, which eventually destroyed the second Beis HaMikdash. The day that Yeravam put the two Eglei Zav down, that's the day that a hut was built and became, eventually it grew and grew to become Italia Shel Yavan. Whoever says Yeshayahu sinned is making a mistake. Although the pasuk says Asher Shav, he became a Baal Tshuva, it means that Yeshayahu found the Sefer Torah and he started learning the Torah, and he realized that 18 years of his Dinei Torah might have been wrong, and he went and he returned money to every single one of the Bali Din from his own money. He didn't take from one to return to the other, he took from his own money. Rav argues and he says, no, Yeshayahu was the greatest Baal Tshuva of his generation, and we have in our generation Abba Vod, Rabbi Yirmiyah, and Rav Yosef says in our generation we have someone called Ukvan Bar Nechemia, who became the Rosh Galus, the head of all of Klal Yisrael, or otherwise known as Nasan de Tzutzitza. And I saw in a dream that Nasan ben Tzutzitza, a malach stuck out his hand and accepted his tshuva. Rashi in Sanhedrin Daf Lamed Aleph on the Beis says the amazing story of Nasan ben Tzutzitza. There was a man, Ukvan Bar Nechemia, who wanted an Eshes Ish, and he, so much so that he became sick. Eventually, the Eshes Ish needed money, and she told Ukvan, I'll do anything you want, just give me the money. He gave her the money and controlled himself. And because he controlled himself, he became the Reish Galus, that one moment of controlling yourself could bring you to such high madrigas, to the point where he had a glow around his head. And I saw somewhere else that it says Rebbe Akiva was able to see the glow, while the Talmidim weren't able to see the glow, and therefore Rebbe Akiva learned with him, B'chavrusa. Have a wonderful day.